All right. If I turned on the microphone, it would be even better. So who knows how much of that has been missed already, but hey, this is live without a net. So hopefully everything goes well. If anyone has any problems hearing me, just feel free to give a holler in the chat. All right, so here we are at summer camp, and the challenge of summer camp is to do 33 prompts in the month of July. And so each 10 days, two new prompts are released by the people at WorldAnvil. 10 were released earlier this morning, well, morning in my time zone. And then every 10 days, 10 additional prompts will be provided. And I'm going to be going for all 33, including the bonus 3 prompts that will be released on July 30th, meaning that the last day there will be 3 prompts of 300 words. And that's going to be a lot of fun to build a world doing this. All right, and here are the prompts that we're going to be building, and I am going to be building in my world Sagadorm. This is a world where I have all of my fairy tales, short stories, and future novels to be located. And it is a world in progress, and it's going to be built one place at a time. And I'm really excited. Uh, thanks, thanks. I'm not sure how to pronounce your AJ. Yeah, a lot was not heard. I do apologize for that, and hopefully you can hear me now. And I need to do a better job of keeping up with the chat and not looking at the camera, because my camera's up here, but the chat window is down here. But you can be heard now. Thank you so much, Auditor. Any pronunciation would be guide would be great. Would be a big help. All right, so these are the 9 and 10 prompts that we're going to be working on the next 10 days, and they are going to be in the world of Sagadorm. The Sagadorm is Auditore. All right, AJ Auditore. Cool. Well, thank you for joining us tonight, and I'm glad to have you here. And all right, this is new for me, and I'm glad to be doing this, but it is going to be a unique challenge here. All right, so we're just going to take these in order because I'm going to do them all anyway. Ezio Auditor, Torah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Reborn. I speak English, and unfortunately, unless it's French, auditoire. I don't know who Ezio is. Italian. Okay. Well, that's going to be a new challenge for me to to pronounce all of these names. But thank you so much for coming. And if you have any comments or questions as we get into this, let's go in. All right, so we're going to start off, and we are going to create a myth or legend relating to a famous long-lost item. I haven't put a lot of thought into all of these because I wanted to have the whole process onto the screen. That may change in the future now that I can see all of these. But as for tonight, the prompts were put out during my work day, and I got off work, came here to my recording area, and now I'm just ready to go for it live. So I'll talk more about Sagadorm, my story world, as I go along. So here let's start, and let's get this prompt going. Now, I will, let's just bring that back up again so I can copy and paste that in. I want to I want to just paste that in here so I am reminded of what it is, that we are a myth. And we'll just go here. And so here we are with, okay, so we're going to turn off the draft because that one of the rules is this needs to be a public article, has to be in production, and it can't be in draft. And so let's check the access. It is public. Good to go. All right. Now, the myth that we're going to be talking about a long lost item. I've written a couple of short stories already in Sagadorm, and the one that I'm working on right now is a story about a fairy more that has a magical staff. In my world of Sagadorm, fairies are human sized, much very similar to elves with magic, and so it's hard to call them fairies. Don't think of Tinkerbell, think of Galadriel, where you have the ability to do magic and things of that nature. And in my world, I have everything from ancient times, medieval times, to modern times, and a steampunk industrial revolution in the middle. And so, unlike a world where it's set for one story or where it's set for one novel, Saga Dorm covers the entire history of this planet. So, for these prompts, I have a lot of places to play with and a lot of places to be able to put these different things. So even though the short story that I'm working on right now is the is told in the present tense in relation to all of the other ones, yeah, Reborn. I'll tell you what Saga Dorm means in a minute. Uh, the the I'm writing a story about this staff and its first appearance in the world, but I'm going to say it's going to be a long lost item because it will be in the future. Okay, Saga Dorm. Most of the world's words that I come up with here in this world are based on various languages. And Sagadorm is a combination of two words. The first one, saga, meaning story, and dorm is actually from the Spanish verb to sleep or dormir. And so I took saga dorm, so stories to sleep, or you could literally call them bedtime stories, stories of sleep. So bedtime stories. And so that is where I came up with the word saga dorm, because I wanted to tell bedtime stories that were clean for children, but then exciting enough for adults. Because I have a lot of kids. I have 5 children, and I've read a lot of bedtime stories. And I gotta say, some of them are really, really boring. And so that's what I want to write. I want to write the stories that are fun for kids to listen to, but also fun for adults to read. So, yep, I love the name of my world, and I had to go through a couple names before I found Saga Dorm. So we're gonna go with that. So, Saga Dorm, the the long lost item that I'm going to be talking about is the I'm going to call it the dragon staff. Okay, and let's just go ahead and save this. All right, we got that saved. Let's take a look in the new tab. And all right, here we are, starting off with the dragon staff for the myth. All right, and I just love that picture up there because it has the book. It talks about bedtime stories. Someone opening a book about and talking about stories. I just love this picture that I have here. So back to this. I may not go into the freeform prose at the beginning. So let's just talk about the summary. Let's talk about the I gotta remember what I called it, the dragon staff. in my world of Sagadorm, there are I wanted to think about all of the problems that we have with fairy tales, and how could we put that in a cohesive storytelling where it makes sense. And the way that I did that is okay. Um, Usually, when you read the original fairy tales, the Grimm fairy tales or otherwise, it's usually a character meets a magical person of sorts, and I'm actually wearing the wrong earbuds, as a magical person of sorts, and then they have an interaction of some kind. And that interaction is based on the MacGuffin of the episode. All right, that does sound better. And so, my world, I don't have fairies per se, like your Tinkerbell or your miniature fairies. I have, like I said, elves who can do magic. And I wanted to introduce how does magic come into my world? Because in the beginning, there were dragons and there were humans, but only the dragons had magic and the humans didn't. And I wanted to figure out how could I get magic from the dragons and instill it into the world. And that's what I did with the story that I have here. And I have that story freely available uh, on WorldAnvil. You can find the link either at WriterGreg.com, or you can come to here. So I can, let's just take a look here. Sagadorm. If you go to the Runaway's Hope, the Runaway's Hope is the story about Vola. Vola is a young girl who eventually, spoilers, becomes the first fairy of the world, though she hasn't used that term yet. And that fairy, um, and Vola as the first fairy is the first person to have magic, and she deals with uh, the dragons as well. And so this staff, the dragon staff. Okay, let's just start typing. I'm not sure about the balance of how much talking versus typing I'm going to be doing. I do need to get 300 words in here before the end of the night, so I do want to be able to do that and complete the prompt every day. So maybe I'm talking too much. Okay, so let's start about the summary. Okay, the dragon's staff was first, and I can't spell, but they said spelling doesn't matter. The first dragon staff was first created and wielded by, now let's see if I remember how to do this. Nope. Okay. Is it bracket, ampersand? No. Okay. This is... All right. I am going to go back to the Runaway's Hope here. But I don't... Okay. I don't have that information there. So I'm going to go back to my home page. I am going to... I go to my fiction. Not all of this is made public, but you'll be able to see what I'm doing with this story. So, okay, so with the Runaway Hope, when I'm creating a story, and that is the wrong tab. Okay, fiction. Okay, plots completed. All right. So I have all of these. As I work through stories, I have this, I go through the process. And so let's go to the Runaway's Hope, because there I will be able to, there we are. We got Vola. Vola Rathana is the person that we're talking about, and I am going to edit this person so that I can get the link, because why not? The link, the textual link. All right, we'll just copy that, come back over to the dragon staff, and yeah, ampersand square bracket Vola. All right. Okay, it was first created and wielded by Vola. On the island of is that enough? No. Wow, this is a lot of, all right, let's go back here. It is, okay, that's Vola, but let's go back to the short story. This is, yes, Kurungag. Again, I write stories. I don't learn how to pronounce them. Okay. Is that enough? Let's try that again. Kuru. No, maybe I shouldn't even bother worrying with these, but I do want to. Yeah, there's my realm. This is the realm of the dragons. It's fire. The language that inspired the name Kurungag. I'm terrible with this. Oh, Reborn, you've never used WorldAnvil. Awesome. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm so slow on seeing this. WorldAnvil was originally developed to be a tabletop role-playing game website where you could store all of your information. I, as an author and not an tabletop RPG player, I found it because I just wanted to have all of my stuff in it. And so that's where this is coming from. And so I really like WorldAnvil because I'm literally creating a Wikipedia. Okay, copy that. And I'm literally creating a Wikipedia of my own stories. Okay, so so we'll just go with that. So if you have any questions, I will try to remember to look at the chat while I'm doing it, and we can go that. Okay, so the dragon staff was first there, okay, by Volna on the island of that place because it's Klingon and it looked cool more than it sounded cool. It does have a lot of D&D feel to it. Yes, it does. WorldAnvil was originally built for D&D or for other places, and people primarily use this to manage their campaigns. And so where I am a fantasy author and using this to recreate fairy tales, it works very well. But see, I just don't want to create standalone fairy tales. I want to create a whole MCU or Marvel Cinematic Universe of fairy tales and of the stories that I create. Okay, so let's get back to here. The dragon staff first created. I'm going to save this because I don't know. Okay, it is made of gold harvested from the horde of the final dragon. And let's see, I know it's Suviklarg. Come on. No? Does it not autofill? Okay, I'm going to go over here. Let's go back to, nope, here we go. Okay, the main protagonist of this is Suviklarg. And I thought I could have swore I had, let's look at my characters. There he is. Yeah, Suviklarg. Yeah, he's a salamander dragon. Spoilers. And he is the last of the dragons of Sagadorm. So let's copy that. Okay. Yes. Okay, yes. Uh, Vola was a slave. The same way that wizards can have a familiar, I made it so that dragons could have a familiar as well. And it just so happened that this dragon, his familiar was a human teenage girl. And so, and it was an interesting uh, interaction between the two. And if you want to read the story, it's less than 5,000 words, and it's available at WorldAnvil, or just go to WriterGreg.com, go to free fiction, and the link will be right there. All right, so the dragon staff. Okay, the okay, um, the staff looks like um, dragon scales along the rod. I don't the pole, the rod, whatever, along the rod, and the top is a dragon's claw holding a large gem or core. The core is the final remains of. All right, we have a new follow. Hey, Reborn, thank you for the follow. I will be doing this nearly every night in July, so thank you so much for the follow. Okay, so the core is the final remains of, let's copy, of Suvaklarg. Because Suvaklarg is Irish. No, he's not. Okay, the final remains of Suvaklarg after his death. Okay, so what I have, when I have a magical creature in my world, when they die, instead of rotting away or decomposing like a typical animal would, what I've done is a magical creature, much like a dragon or others that have been imbued with power, actually petrify when they die, and all of the magic gets concentrated internally. And that concentration of the magic that has been accumulated over the person is their core. And that core, because it has magic, can then be used for other things, other magic. And so that's how the magic gets powered. A magician doesn't have, or a fairy doesn't have power in and of themselves. They tap the power of cores that they can then use. I like this because it provides a limitation on the magic that could be done. I do have a pretty hard magic system in Sagadorm, so I wanted there to be limitations and have it to be a finite resource. Okay, so all right, let's just save the changes again because why not? All right, so the staff looks like dragon scales, along with a rod and the top of it. I actually have a picture of it. I drew a picture of it, and I'd have to find it. Maybe I could put it in here somewhere. And the staff looks okay. There is no okay. What is outline of the myth, legend, or prophecy? Okay, there really isn't a prophecy of it, except that it is the final remains of the last dragon, and that in of itself is powerful. Even by the time of Vola, which is about 600 BC. Okay, I have a timeline here. Okay, let's go to my timeline. Realms. No. Let's just go back to the world. Okay, here are my different timelines. I'll just go to the no, I can go to the, I think it's Kuraga. Okay, Vola. Okay, so she first discovered the cave in 655 BC or BCE, before the Common Era, and then so that and then in 652 is when the second her sequel story happens, and so that's what we have that. So this is roughly 652 years before the Common Era, and you could think of I mean, that's, if you to put it in earthly terms, this is 200 years before the Old Testament ended. The last writings of the Old Testament of the Bible were 400 BC, and so this would be 600 BC for those who know their Bible timeline. Okay, so let's go back. So by the time we get to the Common Era, 650 years later, fairies have spread across the world through heredity, the passing on of genes. They are all over the world, and then so 600 years later, it's really important to have. I mean, this is a really important staff, and the legend is really built up around it. Okay, so historical basis, okay, the events behind creating I got it, the dragon staff. That's such a boring name. Okay, dragon staff actually happened. It is an actual artifact that was passed down through the generations. All right, so let's see. Okay, but no matter how convoluted, okay, is there any? Yeah, okay, yes, actually happened. The actual artifact was passed down through the generations. It was first seen by humans in, let's see, can I please work north? Oh, come on. I really thought that the autocomplete worked in this thing. Oh well, we'll just call it in North Harbor. Okay, North Harbor is the city where the sequel to the Runaway's Hope, called The Runaway's Revenge, happens in North Harbor, and this is the first time she has the staff and wields it to, I think, great effect. But that story's not finished yet. I still have to write the ending of it. So it was first seen by humans in North Harbor, and that's the 652 BCE, before the Common Era. But it has to be lost. A myth or legend, a long lost item. How does it get lost? Would she be, okay, just thinking about Vola, my character here, because I'm getting vibes, Dumbledore and the Elder Wand. The Elder Wand, for those familiar with the Harry Potter theme, it was passed down, and it had a very history that people kept trying to find it. But would she have been buried with it? Would she have liked to have been buried with it? Sure. Yeah. The official history of the fairies records that the dragon staff was buried with, let's grab Vola's thing up here, buried with Vola upon her death. Then, and that would have been okay, she will have, because I haven't finished out her life story yet, but that, as the first fairy, she will have an elongated life, but not an immortal life. And so she will die, but eventually she'll die. But then her, okay, her tomb, where's she buried? I haven't decided. I know where she's going to be buried. I just haven't decided how she's going to be buried. All right, let's get back she is buried, not there. Let's go back. She is buried in Trillenius, I think is where I have her being buried. Yes, okay, the Fairy Council. All right, so she is buried in Trillenius. So let's go to okay, the Sagadorm universe timelines. Where are my? I need to polish this up. But let's just Trillenius. Let's just call it that and go on. Because if I spend the whole time, her tomb in Trillenius, caps is fine. All right, her tomb in Trillenius was raided 7 years after her burial, then where the staff was looted. The history of the journeys of the dragon staff have become legendary, as many fairy or fae have been rumored to possess it and its power. Okay, so fairy and fae. In English, most of the fairy and fae are considered the same thing. Where in English history, the fae, it's the Feywild. It is the land of the fae. Very Shakespearean in terms, where fairy is a more, I would like to think of an American term or a more modern term. For me, a fairy is good, a fae is evil. That's it. You can be born a fairy, you can become a fae, you could be a fae, and then you can repent, redeem yourself, and you become a fairy. There's no biological difference between the fairy and the fae. It's just their classification, their D&D alignment, if you would. Fairies are lawful. No, they're good. No, they're good or neutral, but the fae are definitely evil. Whether they're lawful good or chaotic good depends on the fairy. But I would say that all fairies are good or they are neutral, whereas the fae are evil. Okay, and there's going to be another prompt talking about species and counterculture, so we can talk about that more. Okay, so The same, okay, so the same thing with the Harry Potter's Elder Wand. It is going down, and we could have some fun stories tracing the history of the dragon staff. That could be a whole anthology in and of itself. All right, there is no autosave, so let us save the changes and go to the next section. Spread or Apocrypha. Okay, how far and wide the myth spread is a common knowledge or hidden away among legend only to be known by those cursed or blessed ones. No, the knowledge of the historical knowledge of the dragon staff is well known amongst those who study fairy lore. The exact location of the dragon staff, the exact location of the dragon staff is unknown and of great interest of the Fairy Council, who works to try to track and recover it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So is it common knowledge or hidden away? Yeah, it's out there. I have rangers, much like Aragorn in The Lord of the Rings were rangers. I have a ranger corps. Okay, the rangers of the Fairy Council, cool, were formed to explore the world in search of the dragon staff and other powerful or historical artifacts. Ooh, so this kind of gives me an Indiana Jones vibe. A ranger. That would be kind of cool. Imagine a D&D ranger who just goes out and tries to find stuff. That would be fun. That would be really fun to see or write stories about. And that's the whole point of this challenge, is to do it. Okay, variations. Myths, even when written, tend to mutate as they pass from mouth to mouth through the years. How has your original myth transformed, and by whom? Okay, how? All right. The legend of the dragon staff is intriguing because no one knows for sure where it is. The rumors of the powers of the staff are exaggerated, but not well documented, as Vola never explained her staff to anyone. Sure. Yeah, maybe she did. I don't know. So she never had it from anyone. All right. So, but not well documented. Okay, yeah, because she never intended. Okay, she never intended the staff to be used out after her passing. The core, or gem of power, gem of power, of Suvaklarg. Let's go up here and grab of Suvaklarg does not have it is rumored that the core of mounted upon the staff increases the power of its wielder. Okay. Okay, the core is, yeah, okay. This is true to the extent that this was a dragon core as opposed to cores from more common creatures. Okay, yeah, as opposed to the cores from more common creatures. During the events of the Runaways' Hope, comma, the core was drained. The core was drained of its power. However, Volo was able to recharge it from other common cores she found in her travels. Okay, so the thing about cores is that, while I'm talking, let's save this. The thing about cores is that any magical, wild, non-domesticated creature can have a core upon its passing. So your deers, your wild horses, but not your cows and your domesticated horses. These wild creatures have an essence about them, which can be discovered, which can be tracked, and when that animal is either dies or is killed, their essence comes into a core. And what she discovered is that she could transfer the energy from a common core into the dragon core. And I just made that up. There's this cool t-shirt that says, I make things up. I need to get a shirt like that. Okay. Magical essence extracted from common cores. This isn't school. From common cores is amplified, sure, when placed within a dragon core. Okay. The dragon staff is the only known dragon core. Other cores may exist from other dragons, but Suvaklarg Where are you, Suvaklarg? There we go. Suvaklarg hunted most of these down in an effort to extend his life. Okay. This is almost more of the summary or the historical basis. Oh, yeah, let's move this up. Yeah. Okay. So the variations of the legend of the dragon staff come in who has hold of it. Each country or has their own dragon staff story that showing how the staff was used and by whom. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Okay, let's save this again. Now, to have this, I'm going to go into the community challenges. Click to submit your prompt. Write about a myth or a legend. I don't know how long this is yet, so we'll just keep going on a cultural reception. Wow, in art, date of setting. Okay, well, I do. Okay, for date of set, it was 655 BCE. I do know that. Okay. Well, what on earth happened there? Okay, date of recording. When was the first recorded events of this legend? That would be 652. 652 BCE, because that's when she showed up. Wow, that's kind of weird how that happens. Okay. All right, weird stuff. Okay, cultural reception. How is the legend perceived in different cultures, and how important is it to their story and identity? See, that's the interesting thing. I haven't set up a lot of cultures yet in here because I haven't written as many stories as I want to have written. So let's just, okay, the dragon staff is critically important to the fairy council and all of the inhabitants of Trillenius. Of Trillenius. It has been a topic of great shame that it was lost to the ages and has yet to be recovered. Until one day, a plucky young teenager came and saved the world. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, countries use the legend of the dragon staff to bolster their standings in the world. The better the story, the better the credence given to that country. Why not? Yeah, we can leave that. In literature, how did the myth affect the written word in your worlds? Are there any books, heroics, poems about it? Sure. There is a whole branch of historical and archaeological studies dedicated to the dragon staff. It scholars of the Fairy Council strive to document all of the stories, the rumors of the dragon staff and try to trace it throughout history. Yeah, by separating fact from fiction, they hope to be able to find it one day. Kind of giving it trying to give it a kind of a holy grail, or Ark in the Covenant. Again, I'm feeling a very Indiana Jones vibe here with the dragon staff. Yeah, I kind of like this because the dragon staff could be literally figuratively the holy grail of power, of the people who wanted to have that power. How is tapestries related? Okay, let's save this again. Let's see how it's looking here on its world. Nice. Nice. I like that. Oh, that's where they put it in the sidebar. The date of the first recording, date of setting. Cool. That's cool. All right. I'm sure we have all of this in art. It is commonly used in heraldry. It is commonly used in heraldry for royal houses claiming a divine right. Sure. All right, we are nearing the top of the hour here, and I think I have pretty much done a lot. Okay, click to submit your prompt. Let's see what happens. Your article has been submitted to World Summer Camp 2020. Okay. So let's go here to check your progress. Ah, the dragon staff. Okay, cool. That, all right, I got one done. Awesome. And I could then read the article. Cool. If I go back to this, I think there's a list of all entries. And oh wow, a lot of people here. Let's just do a control find. Oh, there I am, right at the top. I guess first one in and first one out. I should change that. Dragon staff. They keep track of the dragon staff mythical item. Let's just save changes. Let's see if that will fix that here. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, well, there we go. That is the first prompt done. And what happens when you click on my name? Nothing. Okay, go back to this page. All right, the home page. WriterGreg's progress report. I'm too old for school. All right. So there we go. Yeah, we have completed the first prompt for World Building Summer Camp. Oh, before I go, because I want to be able to do this and track it. No, not home. NaNoWrimo. Okay, this is NaNoWrimo, and this is, I have created here the WorldAnvil Summer Camp 2020 competition. So what I need to do, let's open up a, no, we're not going to show that. Stuff from, no, this isn't going to, let's open up, okay, LibreOffice. In case anyone's wondering, I use, where did you go? Oh, that was weird. I use Linux for my operating system of choice. So let's just go through here and see how many words I have. Because if I can crank these out in an hour, one, that's going to make me feel a lot better about being able to complete this challenge. And two, I'll be able to maybe do more in another night, more than one in a night. Okay, wow, 540 words. Okay, I more than did the 300 words, so let's go to, let's go back to NaNoWrimo and let us, where do we, details? No? Where? Goals? That's my goal, badges. You know, I'll worry about this in a bit and figure that offline and be able to, wait, maybe that's it right here. Aha, there we go. Okay, so, no, 540. 540 words, total words. Okay, let's do words in this session. We'll go like that, because that will help me keep track of how many words I wrote for that thing. I'll update the progress. 540 words. Great. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for sticking with me and learning more about the Dragon Staff of Sagadorm. And I really appreciate everyone who came to me. I really appreciate those who have followed. Oh, thank you again for AJ Auditoir, especially because I can always brutalize your name, and I really am sorry that Auditore. I keep wanting to put a French accent on it. So I'd like to thank AJ Auditore, Reborn in Power RPG, Guinevere, and Redface7 for following me during this stream. I do appreciate your support, and do hope to be able to share this journey with you more in the coming days, and hopefully there will be more people who will also be able to enjoy it as well. Having said that, thank you very much. I will be here again tomorrow night, July 2nd at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, I believe. That's -6 UTC. Don't quote me on that. 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and we will continue with prompt number 2. Thank you so much, and have a great night. See ya.